Blue light on.
Good to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, assuming we're all set, wish everybody a good morning and welcome to our visitors. We will call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Commissioners, today being Tuesday, April 18 of 2023. We would ask if you have any type of an electronic communication device, if you'd be kind enough to put it on silent or vibrate mode. We'd appreciate that courtesy. And as we always do, we'll start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance and ask everybody to remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Loretta, could you please pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, we'll have a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. Vanessa, could you please do the roll call?
Sure. Commissioner Steelvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Buick,
Present.
Commissioner Vogler.
Here, we have a quorum, which enables us to conduct business. We always have two opportunities for public comment, one at the beginning of the meeting and one prior to adjournment. We welcome your comments or questions both of those times or one or two of those times, certainly your call. And we would ask that any of your comments or concerns be related to county government matters. And if you can try to limit yourself to about 5 minutes or so, we'd appreciate that. Next item on the agenda is row officer reports and comments. None of our row officers are here today, so we will move on to public comments, and I will open it up to see if anybody in the audience has any concerns at this time. Mr. Burek.
Sure.
Al Burek, to be clear. Brian, this is Brian Burek, and Mr. Al Burek, of course, is a township supervisor in Shenango Township.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes, sir.
I just came, I know it's been in the news the last few meetings about the $5 fee. So I just came as myself, not representing Shenango Township, but I'm in support of continuing the $5 fee. It goes a long way for each municipality to afford to pave. We currently have an 8-year transportation plan at Shenango Township, which is going to cost north of $4 million to resurface every road in the township every 8 years. Obviously, the money that we receive from liquid fuels doesn't cover $8 million. $4 million over 8 years. So any extra money we can get from the county it goes a long way. I feel like the $5 doesn't really hurt anybody. You figure what you pay for a gallon of gas at this point. And as I was talking to Brian earlier before the meeting was, as the federal government continues to push renewable energies and electric vehicles, we're going to see even less gas tax in the future as more electric vehicles get out there, and as we continue to build this electric stations around the county, as we're hoping to do in Shenango, even at the Lawrence Village Plaza. So we just see there might be a number is going to continue to go down, our funding. So I just came to tell you guys I do support the $5 continuing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate your comments. Any other public comments? Again, we'll open it up before we adjourn. Under fiscal and contractual, the warrant registers, which is the compilation of the checks that have been cut through the controller's office. These are dated April 14 and 13. I'll give my colleagues whatever time they might need to look them over. And whenever one or both of you are ready, I could entertain a motion to accept these documents.
I will motion that they be accepted.
Thank you, Loretta. Is there a second?
I second.
Brian, thank you very much. Any questions or concerns about what might be in these documents?
Just one question, and again, I should have checked before the meeting, I was looking at other stuff. Just on the first page, the city mission living, can either of you just give me a quick explanation of that, or?
You know what I think that is? Because it may have come up right before you took office. I believe it was either MHDS or CYS that came before us with a contract. And this agency, because we raised the question, we wanted to make certain it was not the city rescue mission. Is this coming back to you?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And it was
I don't know if you were
yes.
here or not.
It clicked.
All right, this agency provides services to some of our clients through MHDS. Okay.
Yes, and it's not the city rescue mission
Okay.
down on.
Well, that's a good organization too, but I'm just curious what it is, but now that you say
Right.
that, I do remember that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm good.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you raised the question. I
Yes.
appreciate that. If there are no other questions, we'll take a roll call to accept these warrant registers as submitted.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you very much, Vanessa. The minutes of the April 11 meeting are here. I'll give you folks some time to look them over. I'd like to note, we had a visitor last week who brought to our attention concerns about the flags here at the courthouse, including the large one. The gentleman pointed out that the large flag had, at times, depending upon which way the wind was blowing, got caught in a nearby tree, and the branches of the tree were tearing the flag. And we have since had that tree trimmed. We are making an effort to replace the large flag, and there was a bit of a challenge with the pulley and the rope. So maintenance is looking into that, to get that large flag
Yes.
down so we can put a new one up that has no tears in it. Secondly, the smaller flags that align the circumference of the courthouse property, I believe the new flags have arrived. At least I thought I saw some out there.
Yes.
I'm guessing that's for that, not for anything with veterans. I'm
The
assuming those
veterans are
flags.
separate.
Okay.
Yes, veterans are.
So we should see in the near future new smaller flags go up as well. So we're making
Yes.
progress, but I appreciate the fact that Mr. Randall brought that to our attention last week.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to add on the minutes, but whenever you folks are ready, I could take a motion to adopt the minutes.
I've reviewed them and I make the motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
I will second.
Thank you both. Assuming there are no other questions or comments, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Under written communications, we have one document that came in during the last week that we need to enter into the record. It is from Frank B. Taylor Engineering, which is located out in Scott Township. This is what is known as an NPDES individual permit for the discharge of sewage effluent. NPDES stands for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. And the applicant is a Mr. Stephen Caligiuri, who resides on Sunnybrook Drive in Shannick Township. The intent is to, this is for a single residence sewage treatment plant to replace the malfunctioning septic system that is currently serving the existing home on that property. This document is signed by Levi Fiesel of Taylor Engineering. Our role is simply to accept and make note of acceptance of this Act 14 notification. May I have a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Thank you. We'll have a roll call to accept this document, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Mhm.
Under Commissioner reports and comments, Commissioner Burek, you're first today.
Thank you, Commissioner. I know you advised the members of the public that want to speak to address their comments on a county-related issue, but if I could this morning, like to touch on an issue that's more of a state and federal issue, but impacts Lawrence County residents. So if you'll indulge me just for a few minutes, I'll be as brief as I can. Sunday evening, I attended the Braveheart dinner, along with several other county public officials. And it was a very moving and powerful event. It was conducted by Vision Ministries under leadership of Pastor Randy Crum, Dan Bailey, and Vaughn Creasy are the three gentlemen that chair that group, and they work with people in recovery. 4 people that are on the positive journey of recovery got up and spoke and told a brief summary of their stories. And several of them mentioned, and it's my experience working with the Drug and Alcohol Commission in the past, that most of them started their drug use when they were young, using drugs and alcohol, marijuana and alcohol as their first 2 drugs, and then eventually led to other drugs. We all know as commissioners, we look at the budget by the county coroner, and the number of overdose deaths in recent years has gone up significantly. And at the meeting, I saw a friend of mine who's now active with that group, and she recently lost her son to a drug overdose death. So we all know this is a serious issue in Lawrence County. One other thing that happened at that dinner was they honored a gentleman named David Shafulo. And if you're not familiar, David was an Neshannock Township resident that was killed back in December of 2022 when he was struck by a car while jogging on Wilmington Road. According to an article in the Newcastle News written by Debbie Walker here today, that article appeared on February 7th. And this is according to that article. The police report said the person charged with homicide by vehicle in that incident admitted to them that he had been smoking marijuana earlier. He submitted to a blood test at the hospital. The report said, and the results showed levels of THC, the primary psychoactive cannabinoid in marijuana, in his blood. And the reason I mention this is not only was that a tragedy here locally, but this is an issue that's been talked about by elected officials at the state and federal government. And now that I'm a public official, I wanted to put my opinion on record. I believe that the legalization of marijuana for recreational use is bad public policy. And I believe that very strongly. And I just want to mention, I could talk for a half an hour on this subject, but I want to share just a couple quick things if you do a little bit of research on this issue. Both the Governor's Highway Safety Association and AAA, the American Automobile Association Foundation for Traffic Safety, have researched this issue extensively. And in the states where marijuana has been legalized for recreational purposes, the data shows very clearly the number of fatal crashes involving marijuana use by the drivers has gone up significantly. And just I could talk again, like I said, but 2 more quick facts. In the states where they here's the theory of the argument. People say, people are going to smoke marijuana anyway, let's legalize it and tax it. In fact, our new governor in Pennsylvania has proposed, included in his budget, $188 million in projected revenue from taxing legalized marijuana. We have a newly elected U.S. Senator who's pushing legalization of marijuana. In the states that have legalized marijuana, surveys have shown marijuana use has gone up because you're not going to be facing criminal prosecution for using it. But the number of accidents involving impaired drivers has also gone up significantly. So I just wanted to go on the record as a county commissioner that I oppose legalizing recreational marijuana at the state and federal level. And I would encourage any other elected official who believes as I do and to study the issue to notify our governor, our U.S. senators, and our other federal and state representatives that this is bad public policy. In the short run, it could potentially generate more revenue for state and federal government, but I believe it's not worth putting more lives at risk by legalizing recreational marijuana. So that was on my mind today, and I thank you for allowing me to share that.
Certainly. Thank you, Brian. I'm next on the list, but I have no additional comments so far this morning. Loretta?
I just want to say that I was at that dinner also, and I've been to them before, and it's always a moving experience, very well done, very well put together. They do a great job, and, you know, I wish that they continue doing that because it's an excellent program for. And on the lighter side, I did win 3 baskets in the raffle that my grandchildren will enjoy. 3. I whined a lot, but I ended up winning something. Thank you, that's it, that's all I had.
Thank you very much. Thank you both. We'll move on to new business. The first item before us, Vanessa, what number would this one be?
124.
Proposed resolution 124. We would like to advertise the sale of 2 vehicles that have been around quite some time, a 2000 Ford truck and a 1998 Ford Club wagon van. The van has mileage of 90,000 and 4 miles on it. The truck has 74,000 miles on it. Notes here that they are both in poor condition. Whereas each vehicle is worth less than $2,000, this resolution would have the county post the sale of these 2 vehicles for bids, and it would read as follows. 2000 Ford truck, poor condition. Item is being sold as is, where is. Item may be seen by appointment by calling the Lawrence County Maintenance Office at 724-656-2138. The county reserves the right to reject any or all bids and to waive informalities in the bids submitted as the public interest may require. Send the sealed bids to the Lawrence County Controller at 430 Court Street, Newcastle, PA by 3 p.m. Friday, April 28 of 2023. The bids will be opened at 10 a.m. At the Lawrence County Commissioners' Public Meeting on Tuesday, May 2 of 2023. That same information applies to the 1998 Ford Club wagon. So this resolution would allow us to move forward with this process. Any comments or discussion?
Yeah.
Could I then have a motion to approve proposed resolution 124?
So moved.
Second,
Thank you both. Questions?
just one question. Procedurally, if they do not sell, can we then just authorize them to sell them for the scrap metal, or what happens if they don't sell? Is there something that allows us to do that, or do we need?
They would be able to scrap them. Yeah, they'll be.
Yes.
So I guess this resolution allows them to sell it or sell it for scrap metal, so we don't need any additional action.
But I thought I heard your question. Did I hear your question if we didn't get any bids?
Right.
Yeah.
Would we have to come back then and say, since they didn't sell, we have to scrap it? I guess we can address that when we come to it, but I was just thinking ahead, if we could put it that we have that option to dispose of it sell it for scrap metal. I guess that's implied in the resolution, so not a big deal, but just curious.
We'll consult with the solicitor as well. I think it's a very valid question. Procedurally, we want to do it the right way. So I appreciate your asking that.
So, but I support the resolution.
Okay, thank you though, appreciate you raising the questions. The motion has been made and appropriately seconded for resolution 124. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 125. This involves our recycling and solid waste department. Jerry, would you mind coming up so that
Sure.
your comments can be picked up by the microphone?
Absolutely.
Jerry Zona is the director of both the Lawrence and Mercer County Department of Recycling and Solid Waste. We're one of the few counties in the Commonwealth that has a joint agreement between two counties. So we're proud of that fact. Jerry, you're here to talk about what's known as the 901 grant. Can you fill us in, please?
Yeah, this actually should be the 903 grant.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It says that in the resolution. So on your printed agenda, if you can scratch 901 and in its place 903. Thank you for catching.
You're welcome. Okay, so this particular grant, this is an annual grant program that's offered by DEP. This will reimburse the county for half of my salary, benefits, expenses, travel stuff and all that. Should amount, last year we got roughly 39,000 from it, so we should be about that same this year as well.
I assume the Mercer County Commissioners are aware or will be aware of this? Or does it just come through us?
It's strictly for Lawrence County. What we will do is we'll apply for a separate 903 grant for Megan through Mercer County.
Understood, thank you. Let me see if my colleagues have questions. Mr. Burek? No? Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Jerry, I assume you would prefer or would recommend that we move forward with this?
Absolutely.
Very
Thank
good. This is proposed resolution 125. You've heard Mr. Zona's information that's been presented. A motion would then be in order to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you both. Any further comments or questions?
I just want to comment that I worked with Jerry for many years during my prior tenure as county commissioner. He always did an outstanding job. Glad to see you still here. I can't speak highly enough about him with his work with the counties, with recycling solid waste,
Since you've been.
with Tri-County, with Tri-County Clean Waste, the other work he does in the community. I have the utmost respect. So I just want to compliment him, and it's good to see him again. He's like me, he's still here, but we both have a little more gray hair than we did when we were both, when I was here before. So it's good to see Jerry, and thank you for what you do.
Great job. Thank you.
You know, I couldn't resist.
Why would you, right?
I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you very much. Jerry, you are very welcome to stick around. If you have other things to do, we understand, whatever you need to do. Thank you. The next proposed resolution, number 126. And I believe my two colleagues will be able to give more information if they so choose. This is coming to us from our IT department. Mr. Bordenaro's out of town right now, but he has been a very busy man the last week or so. We had an unfortunate situation where, and if I misstate, correct me, but if I have this correct, the entity that hosts and maintains our website, did I say it right?
Well done, Dan.
Thank you.
Well done.
They had some real issues, not only with our website, but with other organizations with whom they are affiliated. And we had some real problems with the site functioning appropriately. Mr. Bordenaro did some research with other alternative entities that could host and maintain the site. He checked with a couple of different firms. He is recommending to us that we enter into an agreement with the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, which does offer a web program for county governments. That program's been in effect for over 18 years. Bill is recommending that we move forward on this. We did check with our solicitor to determine whether this move would necessitate a formal bidding process. However, the solicitor is advising us from his legal perspective that this is considered a professional service, which would forego the need for a formal bidding process. So this resolution would have Lawrence County enter into an agreement with CCAP Technology Web Services to create a new website for Lawrence County. Now, I'm going to stop there because I may have missed some things, and I'll just go down the road in case I've anything else above and beyond that, Loretta.
Just for clarification, the basic links are there for this site. However, because it is a complete rebuild, it will take some time to get all of the specific departments and services, et cetera, to have it there. So again, continue to be patient with us. We will get it up and running and have all of the services available and the links available for the public. But again, as I posted it on my Facebook page. Anything that you need, call our directory. You could speak directly with someone in that particular office that, if you have a question or something that needs done immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe, anything
No,
we've missed?
I think you guys covered it very well.
Thank you. Mr. Burek?
No, just concur with both your comments. Our IT department gave us several other options to consider. The one that's based here in Pennsylvania, and we're all members of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. They host other counties' websites, so I believe this is the best way to get our new website is up and running, but it's just a splash page. And as you guys, Commissioner Spielvogel stated, we're going to be increasing the functionality of that website, but I think it was important to get a new website up as soon as possible. And I'm sure CCAP will do a good job for us. So I support this resolution.
Thank you. I appreciate all your comments. Well, by moving forward with this resolution, that then allows Bill to go to the next step. And accordingly, then I would ask for a motion for proposed resolution 126, please.
Moved.
Second.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. If there are no other questions or concerns, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda involves an addendum to the retainer agreement for securities monitoring with Kessler, Topaz, Meltzer, and Check LLP for the Lawrence County Employees Retirement Board Retirement Fund. This was brought to our attention by Controller Prestapine. And he consulted as well with Treasurer Rapone. Those two gentlemen sit on the retirement board along with the three of us, and that's as per state law. Just for everybody's benefit, let me read some of the highlights from this resolution. It notes that Lawrence County in 2010 entered into a retainer agreement for securities monitoring and claims filing between the Lawrence County Employees Retirement Board and Kessler, Topaz, Meltzer, and Check LLP, formerly known as Barroway, Topaz, Kessler, Meltzer, and Check. For the services it provides under this agreement, KTMC shall be compensated on a contingency basis of 4% of gross recoveries from settlement or other claims filed by KTMC on Lawrence County Retirement Board's behalf in shareholder and antitrust litigation, both in the United States and globally. It looks as though the way this is written, the addendum will be retroactive to January 1 of 2023. It will remain in effect until December 31 of 2024, at which time both parties will evaluate this fee addendum for renewal. So once again, this has been presented to us by, I guess it's probably appropriate to say, the other two members of the retirement board, and they've asked us to, since this involves, for lack of a better term, a contract with this agency, which the commissioners have the responsibility of handling. This is the recommendation to us. I'll stop there. I'll start with Brian. Did I miss anything to your knowledge, or do you have anything to add?
Good explanation. It's been recommended by, as you said, by the controller and the treasurer and reviewed by the solicitor, so I support the resolution.
Thank you, sir.
Same
Loretta?
here.
Okay, thank you very much. This is proposed resolution 127. I will ask for a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. We have one proposed transfer before us this morning, one proposed budget transfer in the amount of $7,500. And this is from the Children and Youth Services Department. They're taking from the line item of purchase services and putting that into 4 different accounts. The one is noted as being their gas account. The other 3 are not listed in terms of the specific. They have the account number. They don't have what they are for. And the explanation is this is to cover the additional months in the 2023 budget of October and November of 2022. I'm going to leave this up to you folks if you're satisfied with what's in front of you, or if either of you need perhaps more explanation.
I think it's fine. They, the numbers might have just been there from a prior resolution or something. I mean, the $7,500 matches what they're asking for. I
Thank
don't
you.
have a problem with moving forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Burek?
No questions or concerns.
Okay, very good. Well, with that, may I then have a motion to approve this requested transfer?
So moved.
Second,
Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, we'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
yes.
Steelvogel? Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. We will note that there remain on the table one resolution and one proposed resolution, one proposed ordinance. Unless someone wishes to make a motion at this time, they could remain on the table.
I would prefer they remain on the table for the time being.
Mhm.
And I was remiss, I do want to acknowledge Supervisor Al Burek from Shenango. I appreciate your being here today and your comments. And as everybody knows, the commissioner's been invited to attend the Lawrence County League of Municipalities meeting tomorrow morning, where I'm sure we'll get additional feedback on the proposed ordinance number 1 of 2023. So thanks for your input. I'm going to continue to talk to some more people on that and gather some more information before I'm ready to act on that ordinance.
Thank you very much. Anything else, Loretta? Thank you both. A couple of announcements. Our next meeting of the Board of Commissioners will be 1 week from today, Tuesday, April 25 at 10 a.m. in this room. It's open to the public. Following this meeting, probably within the next 5 minutes or so, once everybody can gather, the County Board of Elections will convene a public meeting. That board consists of Commissioner Burek, Mr. Frank Picari, and Attorney Jack Seltzer. So if anybody is in the room for that purpose, please stick around and that meeting should start very shortly. If I'm not mistaken, let me defer to you on the next item, the prison board, if you wish to talk
No
about it.
meeting, no meeting tomorrow.
Thank you, Loretta. Loretta chairs the prison board, and thought it would be better that she make that note. So there is, as she just said, no prison board meeting tomorrow at 12 noon. I will open the floor for any other public comments or questions that anybody might have at this time. Hearing and seeing none. Debbie, I have the packet for you. Final comments from my colleagues. Loretta?
Nothing here. Thank you.
Mr. Vanasco? No, sir. Commissioner Burek?
Just real briefly, I don't know if I made the connection. My comments earlier, I talked about the drug and alcohol issue, the Braveheart dinner, and then I went into the tragic death of David Trifullo. And I don't know if I mentioned this, at the dinner, he was honored. Obviously, he couldn't be there to receive the honor, so his widow and his sister accepted the honor on his behalf. But that's how I just wanted to make that connection, but between my statement about the Braveheart dinner and then David Trifullo was honored at that dinner. And that's why then I led into my other comments. So I just want to correct my earlier comments to make that connection that he was one of the honorees, along with there were several other people that received awards. Pastor David Young and his wife were honored. Former County Controller Dave Gettings and his wife
Yes.
Julie were honored. And who was the third honoree?
I believe Pastor Owens from New Victory Church,
Right,
they were honored, and
Pastor Mathis and his wife.
yes.
So there was four honorees at the dinner, and again, very touching evening,
And Pastor Wise, who was also one of the speakers.
he was one of the speakers
Yes.
as well. So
Yes,
thank you for allowing me to correct that. That David
Sure.
Trifullo, which led to my comments, was honored at dinner, and that's why he was on my mind today. So thank you.
Thank you very much. We've overlooked, to your knowledge, Vanessa?
No, I think you're good.
Thank everybody for joining us today. We appreciate your attendance, and Wish everybody a safe rest of the day and rest of the week. I would entertain an adjournment motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. The motion carries. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank
Debbie,
you.
I have your packet for you.
Debbie, do you want the names?
Yeah.
Are you going to?
Tires and stationary tires.
Yes, or how about if I just, no, I can email, or I can just send you a photo, it's up to you.
Right.
Whatever.
I have a photo of. Okay,
I kept telling them.
All right.
yes, sure.
Absolutely. I think the funds are
Oh,
gonna
very nice, yeah, I will send.
get mid to the end of July.
How much? Yeah.